Hello and welcome to Lighten the Load. It is super to have you here, and I'm really looking forward to working with you over the coming 4 weeks and beyond. So this is predominantly a group program. However, we will also have a one-to-one session on week 3 that will just be you and that will be a dynamic hypnosis session. And the reason why I hold that session one-to-one is because I will be talking directly to your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind will be talking back to me. So it's important that we do that in a safe and private space. So if you haven't done so already, please put your dates for this course into your diary. The group sessions are all going to be held on Wednesday evenings, starting this Wednesday the 13th at 7 o'clock. So pop Wednesday the 13th into your diary at 7, Wednesday the 20th at 7. Week 3 will be a one-to-one program. So if I haven't done already, I will be in touch with you to book that one-to-one session, and that can be at any time that is convenient for you. Our 4th session will be in October, on the 3rd of October. And that will again be on a Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock. So get those dates in your diary. Also, as part of this program, I am gifting a bonus 5th session, and that session will take place at week 8. So we're going to do the initial 4-week sessions. We're going to then have a bit of a gap to let all that magic start to happen with your subconscious mind. And then on week 8, we'll all come back together as a group, and we'll do a group session which is going to underpin all of the work that we've been doing. So this Facebook group is your safe private space to support each other as we go through the next 4 weeks. And whilst predominantly this program is a hypnotherapy based program, I am also going to bring some of my psychotherapy elements into the program as well. So I am going to be bringing, on a very high level, some inner child work and also some outer child work, because the stuff that we're going to do is going to really help you to start to deepen and strengthen the work that we're going to be doing in hypnosis as well. So I'm really looking forward to getting to know you more and also working with your subconscious mind over the coming weeks. So just talking a little bit about safety and confidentiality. This is a lovely small group that we're going to be working in, and it's really important that we feel safe and able to talk openly about stuff that we want to talk about. You know, our weight and our eating can be quite a sensitive topic that often invites guilt and shame, and if we can create a safe space where we can really have some open conversations, of course always if you feel comfortable doing so, safety and confidentiality are two really important things for me. So in terms of confidentiality, what I mean by that is whatever gets talked about in the group, please can we keep it private to the group, certainly not sharing names outside of the group. Such an important part of any therapeutic program. Safety as we go through this program, whilst it is predominantly a group program, and so therefore in the group setting you might not feel comfortable talking about anything that comes up for you, I want to give you permission here and now that as we work through this stuff, my door is open. I'm here to support you through this process, either through the Facebook group or through just private message me. So if something comes up for you and it's not sitting comfortably with you, please reach out and talk to me about it, and we can work it through. Because sometimes when stuff comes up and we don't know what to do with it, that's a real invitation to start stepping away from the process, and I don't want that to happen for you. So if something does come up, either through something that's talked about in the group, through some of the inner and outer child work, or through some of the hypnotherapy sessions, please come and share it either in the group if you feel able to, or come into my inbox, message me, and we can talk it through. And so it's a beautiful opportunity for you to be able to explore and settle down whatever is coming up for you. So we just don't know. When we start working with the subconscious mind, the subconscious starts to give us stuff which it knows is going to be a fundamental part of your healing process. So if something does come up, the subconscious is giving you that because it wants you to look at it. And so that's what I mean by safety. You know, keep yourself safe as you go through this process. Know that this group is here to support you, but also know that my inbox is open and you can come into my inbox and share anything that's going on for you. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about hypnotherapy. Okay, like I say, this next 4 weeks is predominantly going to be the hypnotherapy sessions that we do, where I'm going to work directly with your subconscious mind through a number of different modalities. So we are going to do some suggestion therapy. We are also going to do some dynamic hypnotherapy. So the beauty of hypnotherapy is that you don't necessarily have to share your past experiences, because when you're working with the subconscious knows, right? Because it's been with you from day one of birth. You know, there's also a lot of research that supports that actually our subconscious holds stuff way before birth as well. But we won't be going there in this 4-week program. Regressions are beautiful, and past life regressions are also beautiful, but that's for another day. So hypnotherapy. Okay, there is a bit of a preconception about what hypnotherapy is. I do not put you into hypnosis. You put yourself into hypnosis. And for most of us, we spend 80% of our day in hypnosis. All hypnosis is a relaxed state. Okay, and so that is why we do the inductions. So you will have all been sent a pre-course meditation that you should have been listening to prepare your subconscious mind to my voice. Okay, so your subconscious, when it hears my voice, is gonna like get all those lovely feels, and it's gonna be relaxed, and it's gonna be open to the suggestions that I'm going to be giving to your subconscious mind, and so it's going to be more receptive and less resistant. And that's kind of why you have the preconditioning meditation that I sent over. So I know some of you already have a very good understanding of the brain, but for those of you that maybe don't have such an understanding, your conscious mind is tiny. It's 5% of your overall brain. The subconscious is massive in comparison. If anyone's ever seen that iceberg picture that represents the conscious and the subconscious, the bit at the top, the little bit that pokes above the water is the conscious mind. Everything else below the water is our subconscious. So you can see that the subconscious is way more powerful than the conscious mind. Okay, this is why when we start to look at dieting and things like that, we very much make the decision to go on dieting from our conscious mind. So the conscious mind will look at our weight as being the problem, and so it will look for a solution in going on a diet, eat less and exercise. However, the subconscious is way more powerful, and deep within your subconscious will have lots of reasons as to why that dieting approach doesn't work. It will also have reasons why it wants to hold on to weight, and that is kind of like, it will create that resistance. So for any of you that know that familiar yo-yo dieting cycle very well, that kind of explains it. It's the conscious mind that decides to eat less and exercise in whatever form that is, even if you're trying to package it up as as counting macros, as sorry, my brain's gone blank, counting calories, detoxing, fasting, whatever approach. Ultimately, the subconscious is going to be receiving that as some form of restriction, some form of pain, and it's already going to have its defenses up, and it's ready just for that moment when it can go and apply those protections. So over the next 4 weeks, we are going to be settling down your subconscious, and we're going to do that in a number of ways, but that will all come clear over the next 4 weeks. So if anyone has any questions about hypnotherapy, okay, and how it works, please reach out and ask me. But the key one here is I do not put you into hypnosis. I ask you all the way along, are you happy to go into hypnosis? Giving you the choice all of the time. So again, we're not piquing any resistance from the subconscious mind. So any questions on hypnotherapy and how it works, please reach out. I'm more than happy to answer those questions. So yeah, just want to check in that you have all been listening to your pre-course meditation that I sent over. Really important that you've done that. That was the meditation that takes you almost through like a body relaxing exercise, then takes you into your garden, because all of the sessions going forward will work on the basis that you've listened to that meditation, and I'll do a much quicker induction to get you onto your garden bench. So make sure you've listened to that a few times before we get started on Wednesday evening. So our first session this week is going to be Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Okay, the sessions will last between 60 and 90 minutes, depending on, it's nice, I want to get you all on the call, answer any questions, getting you knowing each other a little bit more, and then we'll do the session, and then a bit of a debrief afterwards to see how you found it. There's never an obligation or a pressure to share what's come up for you in those sessions, but if you want to, you absolutely can. And then from week 2 onwards, at the start of every session, we'll do a little bit of a reflection session, albeit there'll be lots of opportunities in the week, actually in the Facebook group, to come in and talk about how you're getting on. Some of you might want to use the Facebook group as a bit of a journaling space where you could come on every day and just do an overview of how your day's going. If you've noticed any shifts, if anything's come up for you, really nice place to come and share that in the safe space and generate some conversation around it. But I'll be popping little things into the group as we go through, just to get you thinking about stuff as well. So how it's going to work, we're going to have our hypnotherapy session each week, and I'm also going to be setting you some little bits of homework, and one of those is going to be to listen to the recording. So each week I will send you a recording. It may not be of the exact hypnotherapy that we did live in the session, because sometimes those some of the stuff I'm going to be doing, I need to be present whilst you're doing them, but you will get sent a recording that will have a visualization, that will have some suggestions that I want you to listen to as often as you can throughout the week, and you'll get a new recording each week. And the recordings are all about building on the work that we've done. They're never going to be longer than about 20 or 25 minutes. So that's going to be the first bit of homework that you're going to be invited to do every week. The more you listen to the recordings, the more impact and the more integration is going to happen in your subconscious, and that's what we want, right? So that's going to be a little bit of work to do. I will also set you some other little pieces of work to do around inner and outer child, and again, that will just be posted in the group. It's never going to be anything that takes up lots of time. It is more about awareness. I am going to also touch on some diet stuff, okay? You know me, diets don't work. That's my kind of, if diets don't work, then what does? That's my whole philosophy. However, there may be I'm more interested in how you're eating than what you're eating. So something I would encourage you to do throughout the program, I don't want you to make any sweeping changes. Okay, this is why this program is all about healing from the inside out rather than the outside in. So I want us to really trust and rely that the hypnotherapy sessions are going to all of a sudden start getting you just behaving differently around food, but not just around food, around how you talk to yourself. So many little subtle changes will start to happen that will have a knock-on effect with your eating. This is the whole beauty of this program. It's designed so as you're not in this whole conscious mind's decision to make sudden changes that are then hard to sustain. However, what I would invite you to do in terms of diet, if you're not already doing this, is look at how you eat. This was something I did a few years ago when I was, I'd gained some weight for various reasons. I knew I didn't want to diet anymore. In fact, I just couldn't. The moment I tried to diet, I just had this resistance straight away. But I had no frame of reference of how to lose weight in a way that kind of felt kind and compassionate. I was so used to doing it in a way that was restrictive and harsh, and almost like I share that, I would look at my body naked to disgust me, so I didn't eat. So it was very harsh and very critical, and I've had to learn a new way of releasing those extra pounds, but in a way that's kind and compassionate. And one of the things I started to do was look at how I eat. And I was the typical, I'd always have breakfast, but often I'd skip lunch, or I'd grab a packet of crisps or something like that. But I'd have this massive meal in the evening, and then I'd sit down all evening. And something I did a few years ago was I actually started to just experiment and play a bit about with how I eat. I now eat little and often. And what I mean by that is I eat 4 times a day, sometimes 5. I no longer have these big portions of food. I eat little and often. And that sounds like eat regularly. We know that, right? But it's deeper than that. Not only is it eating regularly, it's eating for satisfaction and for pleasure. There's no restrictions. You can eat what you want to eat. We're just eating less of it. It sounds really obvious, doesn't it? But underpinning all of that are years and years of diet culture and diet language, where we've got into these cycles of not truly listening to our hunger and certainly not listening to our fullness cues. And so quite often when we've eaten our big meal in the evening, there are, whether they're conscious or unconscious, we have these rules around not eating again in the evenings. You know, lots of diets say don't eat after 6, don't eat after 8, don't eat carbs, blah, 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 blah. You know, the rule list is endless. And so what I started to just play about with was being, there's no rules. I eat to hunger. You know, that was like revolutionary for me to actually start to imagine there's this hunger scale, and like 1 is ravenous, 10 is like not hungry at all, and all these different scales in between. And I started to try and keep myself in a range of about 4 to 7. So I ate when I started to notice I was feeling hungry, just something small. Then that would satisfy me, and then I'd eat again. And so I no longer have these massive portions of food. I cannot tell you how liberating it's been, because I know I can eat again in 3 hours, and sometimes it's an hour, but I've really started to tune in and attune with my body, and that's great for me. And I only can invite you to maybe consider how that might look for you. And of course you do then have to think, how does that fit in with people around you? And we'll talk a little bit more about this as we go through the program, but it has been revolutionary for me to actually know that I can eat whatever foods I want to eat. It's interesting when you give yourself permission to have all of that, you know, right? You don't want it. It's just weird. It's the forbidden fruit, isn't it? We'll talk more about this, but just getting you to start to think about, so from a diet perspective over the coming weeks, just think about how you eat, not like the restrictions or what you're eating, how you're eating, and how actually when you start to like attune to hunger and not have to eat these big meals that we've been conditioned to eat, it's quite surprising how we just stay, firstly our sugar levels just stay nice and balanced, but also it quietens our head down because we're not constantly in this battle with food. It's just quite amazing, really. So yes, so that's from a diet. This program isn't really about diet, but I thought I'd just sort of throw that in there, like, just if you do want to sort of look at your food, look more around how you're eating, not what you're eating. You know, give yourself permission to eat what you want, but look at how you're doing it and have less of it. And that takes a bit of time in the mind to shift that. But I'm going to be doing some lovely work with your subconscious mind that is also going to be supporting all of that stuff as well. So just looking at my list. So I work within 4 pillars. Food, which is pretty much what I've just talked about. Movement, again, when we're in the hypno sessions, I am going to be incorporating some suggestions around movement. Okay, if you're somebody who doesn't move very much at the moment, how can you move a little bit more? Yeah, it's as simple as that. You know, dance around the kitchen when you're getting tea ready. Okay, again, these aren't fundamental parts of this program, but you know, if you can make some small adjustments to the food side of things, more about how, not what, if you can start moving a little bit more, you know, it's all going to just support this whole process. Mindset and self-care are the other 2, which are going to be taken care of, because you're doing this course and through the hypnotherapy sessions. So I think that is all I want to talk to you about. So make sure you've got the sessions in your diary. In fact, I think I said the 3rd, it's actually the 4th. So Wednesday the 13th of September, Wednesday the 20th of September, and Wednesday the 4th of October, 7 p.m. And then I will be in touch, if I haven't already, about booking our one-to-one session. And then I'm also gifting a follow-up session, which will be around about week 8. And this group will stay open so we can carry on doing weekly updates and stuff in between the session. Because the beauty of hypnotherapy, it's not one and done, okay? It continues to ripple out. And the more you start to notice changes, the more they ripple out. So the benefits of the work we're going to be doing in hypnotherapy will continue and continue. So that's why I want to have that nice 4-week break, and then we'll have a catch-up session at week 8 just to see how everything's going. Okay, so that's it from me. Okay, what I'd like you to do now, guys, is just to come and introduce yourself, maybe like a little bit about you, what you would like to get from this program, and anything else you want to tell us. So really looking forward to working with you over the next 4 weeks and beyond. And yeah, let's do this.